Hey, I see Jim Hume's in.
Good evening. How are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you all.
Good to see you.
So,
Hi, Jim.
how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So
So,
welcome to our February 1st, 2022 meeting of the Architectural Review Board being held by Zoom. First, I'd like to see who we have present. I see Mr. Jim Hume, and I'm assuming that you're here on 25 Sunset Lane.
that's correct.
Okay. We also have a committee of one that we'll do after. All right, on the agenda, we have all Sunset Lane LLC, 25 Sunset Lane. This is for construction of a tennis court, 36 feet by 78 feet with fence and landscaping per ZBA, September 16, 2021, with conditions. Let me just get out what I have, Mr. Hume.
Yes.
You could take it from here.
Okay. So one correction, we do not plan a fence at all. And this is going to be the simplest of tennis courts. It's going to be a grass court. So all you will really see is the two posts for the net and then I guess lines for the perimeter of the tennis court itself. And we're relying on the landscaping, that the perimeter landscaping that already exists on the property. This is a property that we had to get a variance for because we're putting a tennis court on a piece of property that doesn't have a principal use, but the owners of the adjacent property and the owners of this property are connected, and we were able to convince the zoning board that that was sufficient to get the variances necessary to install this court in this location. And that's really it.
So the fact that it's advertised with a fence and landscaping, has something been discussed with the building department about no fence for a tennis court?
That's a good question. I don't believe so. But I can certainly have that conversation. But I don't know that there's anything in the code that requires a fence. And my clients are not wanting to have a fence.
So they just want a net, basically.
Yeah. I suspect there's going to be some subsurface work so that the grass portion of the court is playable as a tennis court. But to the outside observer, you will see some lines on the ground, but then you'll see lawn, basically.
Are they going to put any grass or
Regarding,
wrap
I
on
just have a
property?
question, Jim.
Sorry?
Without a fence, what's
The skill of the
what
tennis
stops the
player?
ball from leaving the property?
The size of
What
the
if I'm
property.
there?
Pardon me? The landscaping around the perimeter? I don't know, maybe you can correct me, but I don't know that in the code it requires a fence. I mean, I understand typically tennis courts have fences. And it's my understanding that they have them so that you don't have to go chasing after the tennis ball, but that's not a look that my clients are looking to create. So we're unproposing that, I guess, is how to put it.
All right, that may be a question for the building department if you speak to Brad on it.
I will.
Okay. And it's also, well, the way it's advertised with a fence and landscaping.
Right.
So I know the board members went down there. Let me just start with you, Andrea. What's your thoughts about landscaping?
What's my thoughts about the landscaping? I think it needs landscaping. I think that you shouldn't have to see the tennis court.
Yeah,
And I never even imagined that there would not be a fence. Like, how do you contain the ball on your property? You know, I don't know.
Well, I had submitted
If I
some
was
pictures,
playing
and
there,
there's
I
some
think it's-
fairly well-established landscaping around the perimeter of this property. If you're suggesting that we need to do more than that, I can certainly consult with my clients. The one place that it's not very thick is the view towards the house that they own, so I don't know that landscaping should necessarily be required there at all.
And
Well,
maybe we should look into the code and see if you do have to have a fence in the village around
Well,
the
I-
tennis court.
Question for the building department. I think if that's what Jim's gonna do, and maybe find out about the fence, but other than that, as far as the ARB goes, it's really about appearance.
Right.
Seems that there is no actual court to look at as far as fencing. So if you're concerned about the ball coming out of the court, I mean, I think that's another question. And
Mhm.
some building department probably needs to answer whether that's something that's required. If it's required, then I think we have to get into the screening more as far as screening the court. But if it's just a grass court with a fence, I mean, without a fence and just a net, that's a whole nother, I mean, what's to screen exactly?
I think it sounds pretty nice. I
Well,
mean, very
the
simple.
only area that I would be concerned. I'm sorry, say that again, Allegra?
I said, if it's only a net, I don't see that we really need to screen it. I mean, it's a grass lawn with a net.
Mhm.
Justin, we have to alter the plans we're looking at.
My only concern. My only concern would be the side on the Sunset Lane side. If cars are driving up and down, or if the ball comes out that side, I would suggest that maybe you put like green giants along the property line on the Sunset Lane side, maybe 6 feet tall, 4, 5, 6 feet apart, and that might be sufficient. I don't think it's necessary on the north-south.
I will,
I'm
since
just looking at
I
it here
I
again.
need to get some more information from the building department on this, I will discuss that with my client and then report back if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay,
I don't know what the time frame is this, it's middle of winter, whether they're looking to construct this tomorrow.
well, not tomorrow, but
But if you can go back to the client. and- No, but I mean,
I mean, if your next meeting is
so
when?
are you asking, Jim, are you asking for it to be held on
Yeah, when is your next meeting?
15th?
All right,
2
yeah, if you
weeks.
could hold it over to the 15th, I will,
15th, in 2 weeks.
I'll get the answer from the building department and I'll talk to my clients about the roadside there.
Very good.
Okay,
Everybody good with that? Can we get a motion to hold this application over to February 15th?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
We have a second? All in
Yes, I'll
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that aye?
thank you very much.
Thank
All right.
you.
We'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Take care.
Be well,
We
everybody.
also have a,
You too.
thank you. Thank you. I'm having a little trouble hearing the audio on this. We have the committee of one for 11 Jeffrey Lane. The Architectural Review Board requested a landscape plan at the last meeting. Everybody good with the landscaping plan?
Yes. I am.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve the landscaping plan?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And on the response to the planning board letter concerning the synagogue, I will write up some responses to that, and I'll give it to you, Carrie.
Okay, you want that in the minutes or? You want that, you got a letter from the planning board and you're gonna do another response?
Yes, and I will, yes, I will write a response to the planning board.
Okay,
And I can go over that with you on Thursday,
okay.
right? Okay, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
All right.
Stay warm, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
That's it.